Servant leaders, good afternoon. Let's look at ego tuning and forgetting some of the early principles. There's a lot of unpopular, boring things that sometimes our ego will associate with. That's like, that was the old me. That was the old you. We'll say, we'll create we'll add texture to our past. We'll romanticize and we'll leave off some details about those boring things, those boring rules, those boring principles that have actually helped us get here. Big proponent for innovating and getting better. However, keeping those principles, those cardinal rules, those elements that shaped your foundation, go back to those every now and again. And you may not be too big for that. You may not have graduated from some of the basics, because with some of the most successful people, they just do the basics extremely well. So I wanted to give us some illumination to focus around how some of those core principles, we may have forgotten them because our ego is saying, oh, you're better than that. You don't have to do that anymore. You're above that. Don't ever forget where you came from. Always innovate, always learn, always get better, but there's some things, some rules, some principles. I was actually thinking about one of my old Sunday school teachers, an Army veteran, and he had this acronym that he created for us. And I think about how that's given me such a spiritual and mental head start. It was one claw. One stood for we are all one. Number two stood for Christ is within us all. L stood for law of mind and action. A stood for affirmation denial, and W stood for walk for talk. I was learning that at like 5 and 6 years old, and I was like, dang, no wonder I was able to be successful. Those are great rules. Obviously, I implemented them, trusted him. So that I want to give young me those props, because I chose to do something with that. However, I was absolutely privileged to have met that gentleman. Shout out to Mr. Fred. All right, y'all. And you know what the deal is? DM me magnet so we can have a more magnetic life.